Yeah. I kick them all fucking going. Yeah. Live out the 718. It's the motherfucking kid, y'all. One. Yeah, what up, y'all? It's your boy M3L, and we are back with another episode of the M3L Podcast. First and foremost, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I love all this love and the support. It's been very, very appreciated. And at this time, I just want to ask you, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit the subscribe button. If you're listening to any other platform, make sure you hit the follow button so that you get quicker updates on new episodes. Now that we got that out the way, my guest this week, real good friend. We grew up together. This dude been working real hard from a very, very young age. It's a blessing just to have him here. So let's give a shout out and show some love for my bro, Jason, also known as Hoody. What's good, bro? How's everything?
Good, bro. How
Everything's
you?
everything's great, man. How's everything with you?
Everything is good. First and foremost, let me say thank you, brother, for having me. Thank you.
I appreciate you.
I want you to know that this means a lot to me. Just to even, just take the time out to catch up and just check out what each other been doing. Excuse me.
No, bro, I appreciate you making the time. I know your schedule is hectic. When I reached out, you ain't hesitate to be like, let's do it. So I appreciate that.
No doubt.
Like I say, every week the hardest part of this be the scheduling, as far as like that most of the people I try to bring on are real busy. So making the time to kind of do this be the hardest part. But it's been love. Like I said, I appreciate you making the time. We're gonna have a good time, and I think your story is something that needs to be heard. So let's give a little background of where you come from, what you do, how you got to where you at, and just so people get familiar like with who you are and your story.
Right. Bet. So first and foremost, let me say my name is Jason D. Hoody. I'm also known as Hoody. Um, Hoody, I've been known. That was a nickname to me at a young age. Some people still call me Jason J. Some people call me Hoody, but it's all the same person.
Right,
I make sure the energy stay consistent between
right.
those names. But yeah, so I work in the music business. I'm an artist manager. I've been doing this for about, I would have to say, like 12 years plus.
Mm,
12 years plus. I got my start when I was 16. I interned for a label slash management company called MBK Entertainment. And from there, I never looked back. Like, you know what I mean? They became my family, at a very young age, and taught
hmm
me the ropes of the industry, the music business per se. And I just started grinding from there, learning the ropes, studying under like Jeff Robinson, Suzette Williams, Janine McLean, Misha Hedman. Those were, my guides. And I still work with them and speak to them to this day. You know what I mean? But
right.
they really showed me the ropes of how this whole business operate from top to bottom.
Mm, that's what's up. So just give them a few people that you work with, because I'm sure you work with some familiar names that everybody might know, but they just don't know you're behind it.
Right. So I mean, I've worked with some big names and some dope names, some of our childhood stars. You know what I mean? I've worked with you. I'll start with my. I got my break right
hmm
working with Elvana. So that's
Mm,
when I kind of transitioned from intern and putting that work into becoming a full-time staff member, and becoming a full-time project manager. So she was my first project officially. Like, I've been doing this music for a long time,
right.
right? I've been doing it, honestly, I've been doing it since I was like 15, 16,
Mm,
which is not, and a lot of people won't even notice. Now that I'm speaking, thinking about it, you don't even notice. But I started a company with the Hit 'em guys that you used to
right.
with. So
Right.
we started a company on our own called Elm Street Entertainment. And you
Mm.
know what I mean? We thought we knew what the music business was. We thought we knew how it ran. We thought we knew how it operated. And we started, and we were just all, new to the game. Don't know, we didn't know, shit about the music business.
Hmm.
But what we did know is we had passion, and we did know we had a love for music. You know what I
Right.
mean? So that's what made us, get out there and grind.
Yeah, shout out to the Hit 'em dudes, O, CO, Maestro, the
Yep,
whole gang over there. Nothing but love and support for them dudes.
those
Um,
my guys.
they 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 took my music when I was doing the music rather. They took my music to another level as far as sound.
Yeah.
And even the would just start. It's so crazy. This a bug story because me and my fiance, like that's one of our songs. Her song with J. Cole.
Oh,
I
only
only
I
want to
give
give
it
it
to
to
you.
you.
That's crazy.
Like when we first started dating, like that was a big song for us. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that, like we consider that our song.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I feel you.
I mean, so it's just
But
kind of crazy how like the world just coming like full circle like that. That's
let me tell
crazy.
you something. I got one better for you, right? Like, and I know I'm bouncing all over the place, but we're gonna bounce back because it all ties in. But I don't even think, and the thing is, I was laughing about it before we actually jumped on this interview.
Hmm.
I said to myself, and now that you haven't brought it up, I was gonna ask myself, do you remember we were really kids, bro? I don't even think I had to be like what 13, 14, maybe
Uh-huh.
13, 14 at the time.
Right.
I'll give you that much. You cut a song, and no, it wasn't even you. Pablo cut a song in your crib when we was living on Ellesmere,
Right.
and I tried to sing on a hook. You remember that? You
Wow.
don't remember that shit?
I'm trying to think back. Cause yo, if
Bro,
you back
Esco recorded a song in your crib, and I sung on a hook. I don't know if you was the one recording him, or was it your uncle or somebody?
it was probably my uncle.
Yeah,
I think I don't think I was there, but I believe I heard the song.
it was horrible. It was not Esco me. I talk about the part I play. It was just horrible. But
It's so crazy that you brought Esco up, not even to cut you off, Jay, because like we've been recording as far as like I'm talking about this how crazy it is. Like our passion was so retarded. Like we used to record in Esco's house from his stereo
right,
with just a microphone. I'm talking about like tape deck days. And
yo, that's crazy.
this is how hard we was going, Jay. Like we would record, like spitting our verses in our head,
Right,
and then record the hook, right? Then take the tape out, put it on another tape, and play that part too, so that the hook would be there. Because we didn't have like no equipment in order to have like everything separate, like tracked separately.
right, right.
So it was like we was redubbing like vocals to make it a whole song, like to the point where like if I had the first verse, I would rap my verse, then the hook would come on, I would pass Esco the microphone, like he would record his verse, then he would pass it to the next person. Like so it was like so like, but and we at that time, like Jay, we really thought we was killing it, like, you know
No,
what I'm saying?
I tell you not. Like I remember that shit like yesterday, and like Esco was like, "You really do music?" I'm like, "Bro, nah, I could do it." He was like, "Yo, for real?" He was like, "Yo, so sing on this." I'm like, "I bet." Great. I mean, I probably would kill it if I did it today, but
Right,
I sound crazy back then. But it was the passion. It was the
right,
passion about, I knew I wanted to do something with music. I didn't know what it was. I just knew I will be in the music business.
right.
Honestly, I kid you not. That's all I knew. I knew it would happen. I didn't know how. So I just had to follow the steps, to get there. But yeah, man, it goes all the way back then. And I'm on maybe even 12, bro. I may have
Yeah,
been 12, 13.
it could have been, bro.
It
It
was
could
on
have been.
Thursday.
It
It was
could have been.
that is crazy.
Cause and I know you saying you was, I remember going to like those teens in motion parties in 200.
Right. Yo, even back then, yo, so honestly, how I got into all of this, right? How I got into all of this, I was on the block. Like
Mm-hmm.
y'all, we went to 193.
Mm-hmm.
My mom's then worked in 193. She
Mm.
made me, school was over. I'm trying to leave school, go back to the block because we was gonna play basketball on the crates,
Right.
gonna play Skelsies in the middle of the street,
Right.
gonna play Manhunt in the castle, we
Yeah.
gonna play football and go to Katona Park. You know what I mean? We did
Right.
all that shit. So that's why I'm trying to get out of school, leave. But my mom was like, no. Um, Angie, I don't, Dora, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Dora mom, Angie was like, well, I'm going to Teens in Motion, come. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? So she was like, no, just come with me. And I'm like, no, I'm good. Thank you, but I'm good. My mom was like, no, she made me go. Bro, I kid you not. I went to that program and never left.
Change your
I
life.
walked through that, it changed my life. I walked through that door. I seen other people like me. I seen
Mm.
people into the arts. I seen people dancing. I seen people stepping. I seen people modeling. I'm like, yo, and then they was all young like me. So I'm like, oh, it's lit. This
This
is
is where
where
I
it's
need to
at.
be. Yeah.
I never left. And from there, I started stepping. And y'all, you probably seen me stepping,
Yeah.
bust it out. We used to kill it. Then I started dancing, and then I really started understanding movement, performance, art, singing. And then I went on tour. We went
Mm.
on tour with like Alicia Keys because we did do that. We did like a lot of shows. We performed with Usher. We performed with Next, Alicia Keys. The list goes on. We
Now,
performed
now
all
let
around.
me ask you this, Jay, because my cousin Nikwa was a part of Teenage Emotion too.
Right.
Now, I remember when I forget what award show it was.
Oh, that yeah. It was
You was a part of that group too, right?
the MTV award shows, and this is when Alicia first dropped.
Right. Yeah.
Alicia first dropped with Falling, and we had the chance to sing a part of her choir.
And you was in that group too.
Yeah, it was in
All
that
right.
in that whole crew. That's crazy because Shaniqua's my heart. That's my
Right.
sister. Naquan is that's my son.
Yeah.
Even to this day, like, you know what I mean? That's still my family. Like, it's crazy how we all still connected one way or
Facts.
another.
Facts.
So, but yeah, so Teens Emotion really like it really it got my foot in the door. It got me to understand. It helped me start understanding entertainment, period.
Right.
It helped me understand, the difference between an audience and people performing. Like it's a lot that goes into that. You know what I mean? We see it all the time, but we really don't process what it takes to get up there and do that. You know what I mean?
Mm, right.
People just don't get up and do it. You know what I mean? It's a lot of work, dedication, rehearsal, practice that goes into that. But like I said, all of that was training. So I went through Teens Emotion from and I'm Teens Emotion is a part of me. Like once that from the day I walked in until Teens Emotion itself kind of dismantled, because everybody grew up. We no longer teens, but I wore that name proudly. But that taught me, and from there I started interning for MBK. At
Mm-hmm.
16, I got my first internship with MBK, and all I was doing is really taking flyers and going to promoting it. So I was promoting in my high school.
That street team. That's when we had the street team days. Right.
Yes, I was promoting in my high school. I was promoting in Skate Key, and they paid me for that. You know what I mean? It was a little bread, but they definitely paid me for that. So from there, I got bit by the bug, and I always wanted to. I just had to figure out how do I get back into this. But I went off. We started our own record company called Elm Street, right? From Elm Street, then I went off to start working. I started teaching.
Mm-hmm.
I was working for the Department of Education and shit, working with special ed, 6th through 8th grade. So I did that, you know what I mean? And I always had a passion for working for the youth, because coming up in Teens in Motion, somebody gave me an opportunity that changed my life. And I always want to make sure, I'm in whatever way I can giving that opportunity back. You know what I
That's
mean?
what's up.
Somebody believed in me, so I wanted to make sure I gave that back. So I was teaching, and then, you know what I mean? That it was great when I was teaching. Like, I probably was one of the best staff members there. They called me Mr. H, and I think what made me one of the best it wasn't because I was the smartest, or it wasn't because of where I studied and went to school at. It was more so of I knew how to connect
Mm,
kids. Why? Because I was where these kids was from.
right.
You know what I'm saying? They looked at me and they seen them. You get what I'm saying? I didn't. I dressed like them. I talked like them. I was able to understand them. You know what
You
I mean?
relate.
Their language. You know, and
That
that's
matters.
exactly. It definitely matters because that built a trust. You know what I mean?
Mm,
And they felt like they could come to me when they were wrong, right, or indifferent. You know what I mean? And we had conversations, and then they would even take my advice and listen to me. You're like, change your life up. You know, I still have some of my students to this day. I see them in Harlem. I see them around. You know, some of them have me on social media. They'll write me and what's going on, Mr. H? How you doing? Like, yo, Mr. H, I just graduated. Yo, Mr. H, I just had my first kid or whatever. Mr. H, I got a job. Like, and that shit make me feel good. And
that's cool, yo.
so I'm proud of that. But when I was teaching, I had a first love, and my first love was music. And back in 2000, and I want to say 2010 or 2011, I was stuck between. I was working for the Department of Education. I was getting paid great. I also, I was secured. I had my job was secured. I was a part of the union. I could have just finished out. I was good, but I felt unsatisfied with myself.
Mm,
I felt like there's more for me to do. I felt like there's bigger things for me to accomplish, and I had to make the decision. Whether okay, so let me stop back up. So a year and a half before 2011, I went back to MBK Entertainment, and
okay.
I went back to them, but I was working for free. I wasn't getting a check. I wasn't getting a dime.
And you were still a teacher at the time.
I was, yeah.
All
So they
right.
allowed me. So what happened was Conrad, you remember Mr. Robinson?
Right.
Conrad was running. So at this time, he was the head of the gospel department. So it was
Okay.
a group on a gospel label called Livre. And he allowed me to just come in and work with them and just organize them and just do like administration shit. So not administration shit, but administrative stuff. So I went and helped them, and then from there, MBK Jeff and them seeing the work that I did with the gospel group, and that's when they was like, "Yo, Elvana, she's about to pop. Like, she's our next artist we're focusing on. She needs somebody who can organize her, keep her organized, keep the music going, make sure communicate between her and the label." So they allowed me to come on, and I started as her project manager. So
Mm,
but so when I started her project manager, matter of fact, before we even officially got, no, I'm lying, excuse me, I'm just trying to remember it vividly. So
take your time, bro.
they allowed me to start working with her and be her project manager.
Right.
So I was doing that. Now, I was doing that throughout the summer into the fall. So I had to make a decision whether I was going back to the Department of Education or was I going to try to kick it here. So
Mm,
I told myself, like, yo, all I seen was just like, I don't want to downplay, teachers or anything, but I just felt I seen some teachers, and I had conversations with some teachers who loved it, but they was unsatisfied with themselves because they never followed their dream. And
mm,
that shit scared me. And I said, something, I don't want to be that person. I'd
right.
rather, go through the struggle and not make it and say, at least I went after it, opposed to not taking that risk. So I decided 2000, I remember vividly, I decided 2011, it was September 2nd. School was starting back like September 7th or the 9th, one of those 2 days. And I had to make a decision whether I was going back. And I gave in I wrote my resignation letter to the Department of Education. And I didn't know where it was gonna go, how it was gonna work out. But I just was like, I'm gonna put all my energy into this entertainment and give it a shot. And that happened. And look at where I'm at now, 12 years later.
Now, how long you worked with her, Jay?
Oh, I worked with her. I knew her. So here's the crazy part, right? So her, I knew her back then when I started. She
Oh,
was
okay.
she was on she was signed to MBK back then, but she was developing, she was taking her time. It just wasn't her time. I mean, we tried a few different times to put out a few different records on her. And it was dope records, they went over, but it just wasn't her time yet.
Right.
So until we, figured it out, we went back into, you know, the think tank and figure out how do we bring this girl out to the world. And one thing that Jeff Robinson always said is like he wasn't a fan of, bringing out or making teen stars because he felt like it was like after that, where how are they gonna grow? You exposing their life, putting their life on Front Street, how are they gonna go? And I mean, when I think about it, when you think about the Bow Wows of the world,
Right.
you think
That's who I thought of when you just said that too.
get what I'm saying? You think about them, they like number one, they're not the most stable people now. And this is not all of them, but they're not the most stable people now because they lived their life in front of cameras and in front of people since they was teens. They had no sense of privacy. They never got a chance to discover who they truly were. So he believed in like waiting and developing the talent. So
Right. And I've actually on h.e.r. podcast, um this happened probably was a year or two ago, but he actually had Jermaine Dupri on,
yeah,
and he had asked Jermaine Dupri what was wrong with Bow Wow. And Jermaine Dupri kind of broke it down just like that. He was like, well, Bow Wow's been in front of a camera since he was 5 years old.
yeah,
Like he was like, when your friends are Snoop Dogg, Jermaine Dupri, T.I., like when these are your friends, like it's like,
exactly.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you grow up too quick, and you grow up with a lot of damn near everybody around you not saying no because they wanted to secure their check.
Right.
So it's a little harsh on. I mean, it's harsh on a lot on adults. So
Mm.
imagine a kid coming up in this business, and this business could be cruel, bro. Like it could be really cruel. Like you know what I mean. You have to have tough skin, and this is why I tell everybody: like this game is not made for everybody. Anybody can't just come in and do my job. You get what I'm saying? So you can't go hire anybody to just fill my spot. You have to get people who are built for this, people with thick skin, because the shit would chew you up and spit you out. I thank God that I'm just so happy to be one of the ones who's able to do the work that I do.
Mm.
Nothing special. And this is I say this. I don't think it's nothing special, and not. I don't think it's nothing special about me in terms of. I don't think I did anything special to get where I'm at. I think I was just made for this job. If that
Mm.
makes sense. You get what I'm saying? So it's just like I stuck in there. I've went through a lot. I've done a lot of work for a lot of artists that you won't even.
It's beyond just having the passion.
Right. It's like, and to this day, there's artists who not even signed to me. I don't even work with. I don't make a dollar off of, but I have a friendship and a relationship, and they'll call me. They be like, "Yo, Jay, look, I'm about to put this project out. What you think about this?" Or look, this is what my management's saying. This is what my label's saying. What you think about this? And I give them advice as a friend. You get what
Mm.
I'm saying? And that's just how it is. You know what I mean? It's a whole nother world. It's like reality is a world, and then the entertainment business is a world. It's real, but it's just I don't know how to explain it, but it's different.
Right.
It's real different.
That's what's up. So you said you've been working with her for a few years before she actually came out.
Yeah, I've known her and been a part of her team since she was about like 10, 11 years old.
Right. And so you was a major part of that first project.
Yeah, yeah, yep.
All right. So once you start working with her,
I still work with her.
oh, you still work with her to this day.
Yeah, I still work with her. I'm still a part of the management team. But however, I may not be with her as much as I used to
Right.
or
Okay.
running her project, but she's still under the umbrella. So
Mhm.
just like while we have Misha, who basically that's her project, right? So Misha runs that project from top to bottom. I have 2 other projects over here with 2 other artists. You get what I'm
Okay.
saying? That's still under the umbrella. So if I need to fill in for Misha, if I need to fill in for anybody, or I need to, help her, whatever, I still get a call like, boom, come in, do this. This is what we need you. I need you to cover this. So I'm still there, but it's just like we trying to grow the brand. So, we spread out.
Your services may just be needed over here at the time.
Exactly.
I
Right.
get it. I get it. That's dope. That's really dope, actually, Jay. And it it's a blessing for me to see you doing well, cause like we grew up together, bro, and to see you doing the thing that you love, like some people don't get to do that.
Nah, they don't.
You know
I,
what I mean?
I think you got to follow your heart, bro. I think it gets scary, right? Because I don't think I went through anything. Sorry for cutting you off too. I don't think I went through anything different than anybody else when they started. Like the shit is scary. You wonder if you're gonna make it. Sometimes when you at that last thread, it's like shit. I gotta go back to reality, get a real. I've been through all of that. I've been fucking shocked out my mind. You wouldn't even know. Even when I was on,
Mm-hmm.
some of the struggles that because you don't people don't understand, you don't make money until you make money.
Mm,
You get what I'm saying? So yeah, I could be a manager of an artist, right? And managers normally get what's the normal rate? 20%,
right.
right?
So if they don't make money, you don't make money.
What's 20% of zero? You feel what I'm saying? Zero. So you still gotta and I still gotta pour into that artist. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Whether
Meanwhile,
it's a
at
check
the
or not.
I have a whole family. You get what I'm saying? I have a kid. I have responsibilities. I have rent. I have car. That all that shit that has to happen. You have to figure it out. You know what I mean?
Right.
You have to figure it out. But ultimately, this is what I love. So I'm always down to figure it out.
That's what's up, bro. That's
Yeah.
what's up. So who else you work with outside of her?
So outside of her, like I said, I work with Elvana. I work with K Michelle. I've worked with Brandy. I work
Mm,
with Keisha Cole. I work with up and coming now. I have Tone Stiff. I have this girl Maida. Um, who else I have? I'm developing some other talent as well. So yeah, the list goes on. I may be forgetting some. Justine Sky, Tiara Thomas,
mm.
a new kid Loner. You know what I mean? So the list goes on.
Now, this is just for those watching, because when I say her, I mean her. Like,
Right.
like her,
Well, her.
H.e.r,
Right.
the Grammy Award winning her. Like,
Tom Grammy Award winner.
you know what I'm saying? So like that's who we speaking about. So it's like clear, like so they understand how important you are
Right.
to that brand, like, you
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? Like, some people don't like, and like I say all the time, some people don't know until you give them the information.
Right.
So
No, that's
like we got to give them the information correctly so they can understand.
it's crazy, bro. Because I really don't do interviews and I don't like to do all this. Like, why? Because I do like the privacy.
Right.
And what I mean by that is I can walk down the block and
And
know
nobody,
if you don't know, you don't know. You get what I'm
that's a
saying?
beautiful thing, man.
That shit to me is crazy because I love going back to my old hoods. Like I'm from New York. I'm born and raised in the Bronx, New York. You know what I mean? Ellesmere, East Tremont area.
Hmm.
I love going back to where I'm from, seeing it. I love Harlem. I love walking up and down. You know what I mean? So it's just like imagine having that celebrity status. It's cool.
Or you can't even walk down the
You can't
street.
do shit. And
Yeah.
watching you. Like I like to have a life. You feel what I'm saying?
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, some people don't understand. And people ask me, like my Instagram is a little lit, right? But if I was to really post everything that I do, everything that I get to explain, you feel what I'm saying? Like
Right.
it'll be crazy.
But that not posting everything kind of secures your privacy.
Yeah, it
You know
does.
what I'm saying? Like,
Some people don't
cause
give a fuck who I am. Like, you get what I'm saying? And hey, I don't take it as disrespect. I like it.
yeah, cause you got some people who can't do that.
Yeah.
Like I worked at a heliport, right?
Hmm.
Down there
Like,
by Wall Street by the Staten Island Ferry.
right. Yeah, yeah.
And when I always met a lot of celebrities. I met from Amari Stoudemire to Leonardo DiCaprio. I just met all type of people. So like it was a time like where like I never really realized how serious it was like for Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Yeah.
Like you see it on TV, you hear about it, but like to actually see it, it's like crazy because like my supervisor tells me, yo, I need you to open the side gate. So I'll go open the side gate. Now cars is just coming down the highway, like it looked like a car chase.
Right. Yeah.
Like Jay, it looked like a car chase.
That's
So like now when they pull in, they jump out. It's like it's cars following them, and people are just leaving their cars, like trying to get pictures. And like this is like my first experience of really like seeing how crazy
yeah.
paparazzi is. And I'm like, wow, like I couldn't imagine living like this from day in and day out. Like
No, you have no private. That's crazy. I couldn't do it. I can't do it. I
it's
can't.
crazy.
And here's the thing. And you know what, God, if you are telling me now is my time, I'm gonna follow your lead. But lately, it's like I'm getting pushed into the limelight more and more, and it's just
Mm.
like I don't know. I really don't know now. Like now, it's like, what do I do? Like, do I freeze up or do I just go after it? I don't know. We'll
Big,
see.
big decisions.
We'll see.
Hey,
Yeah.
like as I like to say, executive decisions.
Right.
you know,
Exactly.
you know what I'm saying? Everything come with a price, whether it's a money amount or a piece of your life, or
Right.
so to speak,
You're saying,
privacy.
yeah, yeah,
So what I mean, so like everything has pro and cons.
yeah.
It might be more money, but a little bit more your privacy. You
Right.
know,
Right.
better, stature as far as the people you work with. You start working with bigger and better artists,
Yeah.
but it might be a little more your privacy. And once you're successful, everybody want to taste.
Yeah.
You know what I
Everybody,
mean?
or you just become the topic of conversation. You know
Right? Like, oh, he's behind that.
that. What's so?
Well,
What's his life like? Who's he around? What does he do? Like,
right.
it gets real wild and scary. And here's the thing: I know that for a fact because just on social media alone, and the fans, they will find you. Like like they find you and they follow you and they DM you. Like I go through that now. Like it's crazy.
Right. But
It's crazy.
it's a like it's a gift and a curse, bro.
It
You
is.
know what I mean? Because you want your privacy, but they just showing love, so you appreciate that at the same
Right.
time.
So
You know
I
what I'm
mean,
saying?
there are widows. There are
Yeah.
widows.
Of
But
course there are.
honestly, I try to at least communicate with as many people as possible. Now, unfortunately, I can't reach everybody who's in my DM, but I
Right.
make sure if I have some type of familiarity with you, I'll check in and check your DM and respond back or whatever. People I know forget about it. Like you hit me up, it's like yo, and that's the thing. Like I'm still that same Jay.
Right.
People think I changed, or people probably have the they have misinterpreted or not even misinterpreted. They
They assume kinda.
they judging what I'm looking for the word. They think I changed. Or they probably from what they see, it looks like I changed. You get
Or
what I'm
they might be feeling like what success blew your head up
yeah,
and
or not even so much blew your head up, or people approach like sometimes it's weird, bro, because people approach me in a way that it's just weird, almost like if they scared or I'm sorry,
mm,
apologizing. And my thing is like, stop. That's gonna drive me crazy because I'm human just like you are. Nigga,
right.
ask questions. If I have an answer, I'll give you an answer. If I don't have an answer, I can't give you an answer. You know what I mean?
Right.
It is what it is, and it ain't what it ain't. You know what I'm saying? I try
Yeah.
to make sure I even stay communicated with everybody from, back in the hood or whatever. If I fuck with you, I fuck with you. You know, if we didn't have no issues, nothing changed. Like, you get what I'm saying?
Right. That and it's good to still be down to earth. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people couldn't be in your position and still be that grounded. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody can't handle success.
No, you're absolutely right, bro. You're absolutely
And
right.
like, and this is probably why you have that issue
Mm,
where people come and sound and come at and it seem weird because
yeah,
people know how they would be if the shoe was on the other foot.
it's true.
You know what I'm saying? So they know how they would be, so they assume that's how you are.
That's true. I have friends who tell me, why you don't do this, why you don't do that, why you don't flex, and I don't need to do none of that. I know I'm secure in who I am, where I'm at in my life. The people around. I'm secure. Like, I don't need to flex on nobody. Like, I just appreciate that God gave me the opportunity and the blessings He had given me. Because the thing is, and probably what helped me stay grounded is, I have 13 brothers and sisters.
Mm-hmm.
My mom had 13 kids. Get what I'm saying? So in my own right, in entertainment music, I'm the successful one. But like, I got other brothers and sisters who do other things, and that doesn't mean they not successful. So
Right.
that's what helps keep me grounded, is, you know what I mean? And they definitely remind me where the fuck I came from. They don't give a fuck about none of that shit.
You still Jay.
If I come at them crazy, they looking like, I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
And my sisters, so that's dope. I mean, they care about it. They congratulate me. They cheer me on. They support me. But
Right.
you know,
You
that's
still
not
you
the
still
end of.
little bro.
Right.
And
Exactly.
that's what it is, and it ain't never gonna change. Like,
Exactly. Exactly.
it's good to have family like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? To keep you grounded. Because some people, they family, they turn into yes men. To where now, since you successful, whatever you say is what it is.
Yeah. No.
Because they worried about how they could benefit.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So to
And
have family that keep you grounded is dope.
and that's true, because that goes with some of the artists I work with. Like, these artists become like everyday people, like you and I, and now they become superstars. So that's one of the things we pride ourselves on, is like, we don't give a fuck who you are as an artist. We gonna make sure you stay in check. And that's why a lot of the artists we work with, have longevity, or have been able to be around for a long time, because it's just the upbringing and how we run the company is, we family oriented.
Mm,
So we all professionals. Don't get it twisted. We all professionals, but at the end of the day, we family. We look after each other. You know what I mean? We make sure everybody good, from, when we on the road, to everybody family, just looking out and making sure we there to pick each other up when we fall.
that's
So
what's up.
that, yeah, I wouldn't
Now,
work for any other company but the one I'm working with now.
that's dope. So now I want to take it back a little bit, right? Not too far back, but just a little bit. Because you said you work with Brandy.
Yo,
Now, today, Brandy might not be nothing crazy, but
no, that's Brandy still.
that I don't think so. Like, you gotta understand how, like, Brandy was major. And when I remember when I was in high school, Brandy was it.
Yeah, Brandy was the original. Brandy, before there was and call it what, say what you want. Before there was Alicia Keys, before there was a Beyonce, before there was these
Brandy was it.
stars, Brandy was that America's sweetheart.
Brandy was it. TV star, movies.
Music,
Brandy was it.
everything. Yep.
Brandy was it. So, how, like, coming up under that, knowing that, and that's basically our era. Like, how did that feel to work with her?
It was a surreal moment.
Mm,
This was Moesha.
right.
This was, you get what I'm saying? This was I Want to Be Down. This was Angel in the Sky. This was who, sitting up in my room, on top of that's it just was like, okay. So yes, it was just a real moment, but I was able to handle it. And the only reason I was able to handle it is because I've seen Alicia transition into a superstar. I was a part of Elvana blowing up. You know what I mean? She haven't reached that level, so I had some kind of training on how to keep it together. But it blew my mind. Like, I went from watching you on TV to you picking up my phone call. You know what I mean? Or you texting me. Like, we texting. It's crazy. That those kind of things are fucking bananas. It's crazy. I don't even know how to explain that. But you learn that they still people.
Right,
They still people.
right.
You know what I mean? And I think sometimes, you know, for these celebrities, and then sometimes even for us, who work behind the scenes, people put so much pressure on us, and they forget that we human.
Mm,
Get what I'm saying? And they expect so much. They expect so much. They hold you to all these expectations, and then when you don't meet those expectations, they can't believe it. And it's like, why? I'm no different from you. I just have a talent. You feel what I'm saying?
right,
It gets real deep and it gets weird, but that's a part of what comes with it.
right. That's cool. So now,
I'm looking for this. The funny part is I'm on my phone, right? I'm looking for this video with Brandy. Like, I'm not even gonna hold you.
now I
I was freaking out. Like,
I remember you posting a video with Brandy.
yeah,
I think maybe I was getting in the car and you was like, "Yo, guess who I got with me?" And you put the video on her and she was showing love. I was like, "Wow."
that's actually who I'm looking at. I'm looking for that video right
I
now.
was like, "Wow." I think that was your Instagram, but that had to be a couple of years ago if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's when Brandy was coming back on the scene, because you remember Brandy had left and took she had left and took some time off,
Right.
and she got with us, and then we was reintroducing her back into the scene. That's when she did Chicago. You remember when
Hmm.
she did the play and all of that? Yeah, it was
Yeah.
that time.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
showing the video just because I want you to show your viewership, your followers. The shit is real.
Nah, like Jay, they gotta understand because, and this is one of the reasons, like I said, I wanted to bring you on because you doing some amazing things,
Thank you.
working with amazing people, and like I said, bro, you from where we from. Know what I'm saying? And when the opportunity showed itself for you, you took full advantage of it, and you put in the work. Not only did you have the passion, but you put in the work also
Bro.
to make it happen.
It's not easy. If you don't have, if I'll tell anybody, if this is not your passion, don't do it. Find something that's your passion. Like, because this industry, you have to have passion to last in it. You have to have passion to keep moving forward, because everybody comes in, shit happens to everybody in this business. This is a doggy dog world, you know what I mean? And you just got to be grounded. Like, and how I'm moving through the business is I'm trying to make sure that I don't get to the point where I feel like I have to play a part or become that dirty person, to do somebody grimy or dirty. You know what I mean? I feel like, it's room and it's enough money and it's enough shit in this business for you to keep it 100. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not eager to be on every project. I'm not eager to work with every artist. Some we click, some we don't.
And I'm sure there's some that actually that request you.
Yeah, yeah. That happens a lot. Like, that happens a lot, and it's like your work becomes your resume. Like, word of mouth.
Mm,
Like, yo, fuck with this nigga. Like, this is true, and you start, intertwining and learning different people, and then different opportunities come. You know what I mean? Different opportunities come. It's been a blessing. I can't even lie.
that's what's up. So and Jay, working with so many people and the like, her is a superstar now. I don't think people. I'm sure they probably understand, but she's a superstar. So I'm sure you've been around the world.
A couple of times.
You know what I'm saying? So
So
like being on the road, being on the road so much. So I know sometimes it takes you away from your family, where you kind of miss important events that you wouldn't want to miss, but you got to work. Um,
sacrifice, man.
like that perfect word, sacrifice. Talk about the sacrifices that you had to make, that you have to make and have made in order to be who you are and accomplish what you accomplish.
Um, so some of the sacrifices, man, I think the biggest one for me is because I am a family person. Like I care about my family. Like, you know what I mean? Good, bad, and ugly. You know what I mean? I care about them, and I try to be there for support. But one of the biggest things is when you can't spend, the holiday. There was a time I was on tour, and we had to spend Thanksgiving on tour. You know
Mm,
what I mean? So now you on. I mean, people, but you on tour with your tour family, and you got your real family back home sitting around the table cutting turkey. Like that shit hurts. That shit. I mean, people like, oh fuck that, I'll be on tour. Like, oh well, I would rather be on tour. But when you on tour and you really see what tour is like, the life, it's work. People don't even understand. Being in this business, you're gonna work harder than you'll work at a 9 to 5.
mm.
You're going to work harder than you'll work at a 9 to 5. Like if you're gonna last in this, it's a lot of work. I really don't have free time. I had to figure out how to live life, or take my life that I want, that the life that I want to live, and intertwine it with work. You know what I mean? So I do, like tonight, like, you know what I mean? If we weren't doing this interview tonight, I'd probably be out with friends or something. We chilling, we hanging, we probably drinking, having a good time. But look, my phone is in my hand. That's what they all say about me. My phone is in my hand, and but I'm still a part of everything.
Right.
But I had to figure out how to do both, because it went. I can't cut this off, because one thing about this business,
It's 24 hours.
and we need what we need when we need it. It's no hold up, chill. I'll call you when I'm done, or when I get in the house with my no. Yo, get this shit in. And you gotta make deadlines. It's crazy. It's crazy. But it's the best decision I've made. I kid you not. The best decision I made.
That's what's up, man. And like I said, it's a blessing to actually be doing something you enjoy, man. Because some people go a lifetime working a job that they don't even like,
Yeah. Just to make
and
ends meet.
right, just to make the ends meet, and to actually be like and giving up a secure job where you could have did that for 30, 40 years, retired, and been well
Good.
off,
Yeah. Yep.
and to actually step out there
And that's
and chase your dream, like to where like now this gotta work.
it's no yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But here's the not even tricky, but here's the dope part about that. Shit didn't take off until I made that decision.
Mm,
Once I made that decision, doors opened up, and I never had to look back. Never had to look back. So it's just like sometimes, like, I mean, I think it's hard for me to speak for everybody, and I don't want to mislead anybody, and I don't want people to think this is easier than what it is, or I don't want people to think you could just get up and go leave your job.
mm-hmm.
I wouldn't advise you to do that. But for me, I knew that was the decision in my heart I had to make. And once I made that decision, doors opened up. It's not going to work like that for everybody. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know. I think God was talking to me, or led me to the path. Like I just knew it was no way. And then when it just was no way. It was no way.
And sometimes you just know.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just know. And
And even now, I gotta keep it going. I gotta keep like I'm only as good as my last hit. So I gotta keep it going right now. You know what I mean? So yeah, I worked with her. Yeah, I was on a Grammy stage. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, I was on stage at the Grammys and all. But that was what, 2, 3, 4 years ago.
right.
What's going on now? What's next? I mean, I'm working on shit. Trust me. I'm working on shit. It's about to be a big announcement next Friday with one of my clients or whatever. So, stuff is in a bag, but you have to stay on top of it. Mm, mm,
So
mm.
who are some up and coming acts that we probably haven't heard about yet that you're working with that you think could be something in the future
Think?
or no?
No. Right. So definitely you can check her IG out. Her name is Maida's World on IG, but her artist name is her real name is Maida. Maeta.
Okay.
Fire. Trust me. She
Singer?
singer. She's
Mm,
the next big thing. I kind of only work with singers because
okay.
honest, I fuck with hip hop. Like I listen to it all day, but working it is different. You
Mm,
get what I'm saying? And
okay.
working hip hop, it takes a certain kind of person. You know what I mean? And it's just, I don't think I'm aligned with. You
Okay.
you feel what I'm saying? So, um, but yeah, R&B is my niche. Like R&B is where I know. That's what I've been studying. Look at who I named, who I've worked with. All these female, like the K Michelle's, Elron is her, Alicia, Brandy, all of them. Those R&B.
That's dope.
Yeah,
So outside of you said who Mater?
yeah. Maida, Tone Stiff.
Okay. Or
Oh,
R.
yeah, R&B.
Okay.
Tone Stiff. He's a singer too. Dope. He got a record out. They both actually. Maida has a record out now called Teen Scene. Um,
Okay.
and then she got videos and record a teen scene. She got another record out right now called Toxic featuring Beam and videos is out to that.
Okay.
She's getting ready to release her project on April 30th. So that's
Okay.
coming out.
And they all under the umbrella too.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yep. And then, Tone Stiff, he has a record out called Fuck With Me. We getting ready to, I just finished up his project. Um, he's getting ready to release his project probably, I would say in May, probably around May. Yeah, we're getting ready to go to LA shoot his video, so he's coming too. He's dope. Loner is another dope artist. Who's under the umbrella. He's
Okay.
killing it. He was just nominated for h.e.r. Best New Artist Award.
Okay.
Yeah, that's lit. Definitely. You check them out, or your listeners, fans. Y'all go check it out. New music coming for you. Coming. Y'all haven't heard of these people. Check them out. They dope. They dope.
Yeah. That's great, Jay. I appreciate the information, bro. Like, I appreciate you pulling up. I don't want to keep you too long. Um, before we get out of here, any information you want to put out there, whether you want to give your Instagram people to follow you, or just some type of message you just want to put out to the world.
Right. Well, I'll definitely give my Instagram, and my Instagram is Hoody ENT. So it's actually spelled HOODYENT. Yes, people would think it's Hoodie ENT, but it's Hoody HOODYENT. Um, and that's pretty much my name across social media, except for Facebook. It's my real name, but I'm really not on Facebook like that. I keep that to, limited to the family and friends,
Right.
family and friends. Hit me up. I'll talk back. I mean, you know what I mean. Um, and before you hit me up, I'm gonna tell you this is what I want to say. Think about what you want to ask me because I will answer questions, but I am human and I will get annoyed at stupid stuff. Just don't write me just to write me. You know what I mean? If
Right.
you have nothing to say, just take your time until you do have something to say, and then write me. And if I can get back, I will. But don't waste time. Like I, you know, I'm I have to things I want to do. I don't want people cursing me out because I didn't get that. You know what I mean? Don't jump in my DM saying let's work. Like, what does that mean? Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. What do you mean let's work? Like, it's just crazy stuff. So just think about it. But hit me up and I'll talk back. I want to say to everybody out there, follow your dreams. You know what I mean? Think it through. Don't be afraid to go for, it's here. You know it's here. If it's here, go after it. If you feel it in your heart, go after it. You know what I mean? Don't dream too small. Nothing's too big for you to accomplish. Like, you know what I mean? I'm a kid from the Bronx. Melly know me, you know what I mean? Growing up. He knows me and my family. Like him nor I knew that I would be in this position now. But what happened was I followed my dream and I just kept going and I knew here. You know what I mean? I probably was the oddball, you know what I mean, out the bunch and all that. I probably was the one from the block going to step, you know what I mean, while everybody else is playing basketball, football, going to Skelsey. But I was enjoying life. Through it all, I enjoy everything I've done up until this part. You know what I mean? And I didn't have no hesitations. I didn't let people hold me back. And that's another thing too. I don't think, people from our hood and all of that. I thank y'all. Honestly, seriously, I thank y'all because like I was Jay. Like I was always Jay. And I always, came back to I would go step, bust out the show, and then come back to the block and we chilling. You know
Right.
what I mean? And that shit was real. And I don't think thinking about it now, it's just like, yo, that's crazy.
And sometimes it take us, we got to take a step back and think about that and be like, wow, like, because I know sometimes you're just so busy, everything running so fast. Sometimes you don't get to think about things like that. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
no. And people don't even understand, like, and people be bugging, right? When like some of the people in my company would bug out when I tell them like French. Like we grew up, we would act like no, we
Right.
don't know French. We didn't go to the same high school. No, nigga. We know each other as kids. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And bug out like when me and I see French, it'd be in the most randomest places. You know what I mean? We'd probably be at a hotel in LA or I'd be backstage at a show or we both he's doing a show that one of my clients is doing out in fucking Minnesota, and it's like, yo, that's crazy. But he showed love every time we see each other. It's nothing but love. Like, and
That's
he's
dope.
another. I remember we was in Roosevelt,
Uh-huh.
Roosevelt, going to Terrell House. You remember Terrell that used to be with French
Um
Coke, part of Coke Boys, I think.
TJ.
TJ
Right.
Terrell. That's his real name. I know his real name from school. Like that's how back we go. These niggas, yo, is crazy. And I tell Francis, like, yo, I am proud of him because I remember and this is when I was, in Teens Emotion and the Alicia
Right.
Keys was going. I didn't even have a position or anything yet. I just was around the name and he knew that. So after school, we would go to Terrell house and we just would sit there and talk. And French would be like, yo, this is why I'm gonna be a rapper. And Terrell actually back then was more of the rapper than French. But
Right.
French was like, yo, I'm doing it. Like, you know what I mean? I'm doing it. Terrell was like, he's doing it. I was like, yo, I'm doing the shit too. And look it. It's
Now
crazy.
look at that. It's that look how the work everything coming full circle, bro.
Bro.
Full circle.
It's crazy. Like I think and then congratulations to you and even stepping out doing this. You know what I mean? Like
Appreciate you.
having this podcast, this shit is not easy. Entertaining people, sitting here talking to people, you know what I mean, having people judge you, you know what I mean?
It's more work than you might think it is.
I know, listen, I know. And then you have to be consistent with it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And you know how sometimes life change from one week to another, but you have to constantly put the content out there. You have to be your promoter. Like you doing this for yourself. And you
Right.
can attest to this. You know what I mean? If you don't think about your next episode, who is? If you don't think about how to post it, who is?
You
If you
almost gotta
don't,
think, you gotta think steps in advance
exactly.
just to try to stay ahead of the game. Like, Know what I mean? So it be crazy, bro.
So
But
that's what I want to just put that leave off with this message. Like, if you're gonna do it, just understand nothing is easy. Nothing comes easy. It's gonna take. It requires time, work, and dedication for whatever it is you want to do.
facts.
Yeah.
Again, Jay, I appreciate you pulling up, man. I know your schedule's busy. So I really appreciate you taking the time to sit down and kick it with me. Um, I can't, I can't, I can't thank you enough, bro. Like
Nah,
I,
bro.
I really can't thank you enough. So on that note, y'all, we off this. It's your boy M3L Podcast. Love is love. Peace.
We out of here.